I am Matt Hartman. This is the Pigskin Project YouTube channel. This is our Week 6 preview. Forgot to record an intro. Enjoy the video. Games of the week, talking everything Week 6. We each pick a game, always starting with Thursday Night Football. And obviously, Thursday Night Football this week. The Philadelphia Eagles travel to MetLife to take on the New York Football Giants, who my Saints dethroned a few days ago. But yeah, I mean, you get into the Eagles and Giants. The first thing I wrote down, as I do prep for all these games, for different reasons, obviously, but which team has more pressure going into this game?
No, that's a great question. I mean, you got the Eagles fans that are like, "What is going on? You shouldn't have lost the Denver game. That was an awful fourth quarter collapse." And then you have the Giants that 2 weeks ago they're like, "Hallelujah, we found our quarterback. Dabble's job is saved." Well, and then you go out and lose to the Saints. No offense to you, Matt, but one of the worst football teams in the
Not the
entire
worst.
NFL. Not the
Not the
one of
worst.
one of one of
I want
the
that on the
worst.
record.
Yeah,
Well, we'll talk about probably the worst football team in my pick, but that's for you to decide which team that is. But no, I do think it probably is the Eagles because there is expectation there, right? The Giants fans aren't going into this game saying, "Well, if we lose this game, Daboll's getting fired and Dart isn't the quarterback." But Eagles fans are going into this game saying, "Well, if we can't beat the Giants, burn the boat, the season's over," which don't get in front of your bridges, but that's what some people are saying. So I think there's definitely more pressure on the Eagles, but pressure goes both ways.
yeah. I I don't want to dive too deep into it in terms of my thoughts because there's another segment down the line that I'll you know touch on
Don't
it.
you do it. Sorry.
I'm I don't know if we're on the same page, but I'm doing something stupid at least. Anyways, um, yeah, at first I was like, Eagles are gonna just take this and run with it, but then like literally it takes until getting into this very moment when I'm like, I don't know, Eagles offense kind of not good, like you know what I mean? But I still think that this -7.5 spread is just like it's free. I don't know. That's where my head goes immediately. Like
Free.
I
Woo.
think so. I mean, this is my take on it early, I guess. I mean, game's tomorrow, so I don't know how early you're talking, but like, I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I think that they're gonna take this and run away with it, and I'll dive into it a little bit later on.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. No. Not to steal your thunder. And I don't know what your matchup here is Matt. But really, the main thing I want to focus on is not what people would expect. Everyone's like, "Oh, Saquon. Oh, is this going to be finally his bounce back game?" And well, and there was a whole lot of only one designed run. Don't care. Don't care. That's my response to that. My response is really, how can this Eagles passing offense do against the 24th ranked passing defense that the Giants have? Again, if there's going to be any game to have that get right game, it's going to be this game. And it was easy to say it was going to be the Broncos because every single, everyone and their mother wanted to talk about AJ and how mad he was. But at the end of the day, he was going up against the Broncos defense and Pat Surtain. So, of course, they were going to struggle a little bit there. They struggled probably more than what they should. But going into this game, you have no excuse to be bad at passing the football. Again, I am already too far gone to justify being happy about this passing offense. But if it really doesn't show out next week, or well, tomorrow, really doesn't show out tomorrow, then that's really when stuff is going to hit the fan for me. But what is your matchup of the week, Matt? Or the matchup of the game?
I have the Giants pass rush versus the Eagles on true dropbacks because
Look
you
at that.
you think back to the game against the Broncos and the Broncos forced them to score 0 points in that second half, and what they did, they brought like Hufanga down into the box and brought him as like a fourth pass rusher. It's called a simulated pressure. It's where you're not bringing more than 4, you're not bringing a technical blitz, but you're just switching up the guys who are actually like rushing the passer. And it got Philly a few times, and like it really did startle Hurts a few times. So I'm interested to see if New York leans into that, if they are leaning into a simulated pressure look, or are they just going to lean into having Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Abdul Carter, who I looked it up today. They all have 18 plus pressures on the season already, which it makes sense. But when you think back to the Saints game, like these guys registered 1 pressure against the Saints. So again, like you're thinking short week, are they going to be ready to go? They weren't able to do anything against the Saints, who, it's extremely gettable. What are they going to be able to do against Philly, who is, like you mentioned, missing Landon Dickerson, and Tyler Steen is still getting his feet under him, and we've already seen Lane Johnson in and out of the lineup. So it's interesting. I think this Eagles offensive line is really gettable, especially for this Giants pass rush. So I'm interested to see how they mix stuff in to kind of limit that stuff. Because again, are we at the point where it's like Saquon's just a non-factor? Like I'm kind of at the point where it's like, is he gonna figure it out? I'm just gonna hold back because maybe he doesn't. So it'll be interesting to see how this one ends up. But any last thoughts on Thursday Night Football before we move on?
No.
I will make a comment on Ryan's 7.5. You think the Eagles are beating anybody by 8 points right now? That's
Yes.
that's
Yes.
trust.
This is the get right game, in my opinion. This is happening.
True.
This is the one that you need.
I
It's got to
said before the
happen at some
season-
point. This team is too good not to have.
Do you think
one.
it's gonna come after 3 days of rest? That's my thing. If you had a full week, then maybe, but they're just coming on a short week too, man.
I'm interested to see this one. I would dabble with the under, but we move on. Let's start here.
Dabble?
Yeah, let's
Brian Dabble? I
let's
just thought
start
of that.
here.
Sorry, I know I was late.
Let me take the rock. I'm gonna go ISO ball for a minute. This came, oh my heart, oh, it stole my heart. The hashtag new agenda, hashtag snow melts in May, and what he was able to do on Sunday Night Football, and the snake. I mean, that's the quarterback battle. This is the most anticipated 2024 quarterback draft battle of the entire weekend. None of the other games come to mind, to be honest. And then you get into like what Drake May is doing. I just want to put like a lens over it real quick. The Patriots are 5th in dropback success rate. And so that's like, how much positive EPA are you drawing on a down-to-down basis? What is your down-to-down efficiency? They're 5th in entire dropback. And you think back to like, it's, Stephon Diggs has a game against Buffalo before that. He really wasn't popping. It's Kayshon Boutte. It's Hunter Henry. Like, it's just a bunch of, ragtag group of guys. And then you get into their rush success rate. So he's doing all this with, limited pass catching group. They're 31st in rushing success rate. Their EPA is even worse at 32nd because of all the fumbles against Pittsburgh. But he's doing this all with like negative run game compared to the rest of the league. So May is really taking a leap that even I am like, whoa. And it just makes me excited for more football from him. And against the Saints, who are extremely gettable. And then the other side, talking about
Really?
the Saints. Hey, we're competent, dude. That's awesome. Everybody is just... Everybody, the best phrase I've heard is like, they look like a grown-up team, where I think a lot of people going into the season were like, this team's going to win 2 games. They have been in every single game outside of the Seahawks game, in which special teams completely derails that game within 10 minutes if you were watching it live. and the way that they're winning is winning with efficiency and scheme rather than like talent. And talent will come if you continue to be bad. You're going to draft players, and the talent will come. And the Saints through 5 games, I've totaled this up. They have 10 explosive plays, so passes of 20 plus yards and rushes of 10 plus yards. The league average for a team right now is 21. So like that's the realm they're living in right now. It's double what they have is the league average. And then defensively, the Saints don't get much pressure, 20% pressure rate, which is 31st, but they're middle of the pack in sack percentage, so that's interesting. And you know who the second most sacked quarterback through 5 games is? It's Drake May. So again, that is where it is extremely, extremely gettable. But guys, I have run ISO ball too much. What do you guys think about this one? And did I pick a good one?
Let me steal it really quick. I just want to ask a quick question. It's not necessarily about the matchup per se, but it is about your team. So Ben and I had the Saints going 3-14 before the season started. You had them going 6-11. Are you still confident in their ability to land 6-11, or do you think that it might be a little bit lower than what you were originally thinking? No judgment, just testing and seeing where your mind is with the team 5 weeks in.
I had them exactly where they are right now. I had them 1-4 with the exact games that they won, like the won and lost. So I don't think I'm switching up too much because I think the scheme is really, really good, and I think this division is extremely gettable each and every week. And like even Tampa Bay, like they're 4-1. Yes, they're still gettable. Watching them play football, they're still in a volatile spot. So I think playing in the division is kind of what teased me up to be like, yeah, I think they can win. They could still win 6 games, but at the same time, they're still so far away. They're just still so far away that if you told me they win 3 games, I wouldn't be surprised.
I will say Rattler has exceeded every expectation that I had for him. I mean, I thought for sure it would be a week in and week out quarterback battle, and the he's holding his own. So I know that it's maybe not elite, you know what I mean, by any means, but like he's doing what you need him to do in the middle of a rebuild. You know what I mean? And in the face of uncertainty, when you get to the trade deadline here in the next couple weeks, you know what I mean, or a few weeks, it's going to be interesting to see how this team kind of morphs. But there is a lot of adversity that comes with that, and not to mention the scrutiny that probably comes with being the Saints quarterback right now. You know what I mean? He's handling it very well, and I mean the fact that he could not only stick or hold in with the Bills 1 week and then win a football game the next week. It's like, all right, this is kind of in. There's times that you see those flashes that you're talking about week in and week out that it's like, hey, that was good. And then the other time where it's like, that wasn't great at all. Like, you know what I mean? He's a young quarterback. It's going to happen. But regardless, like, I don't know. It's one of those things to where, I mean, we're going to get into Cleveland here in a little bit. So I want to kind of compare them to them. Like, it's one of those teams where it's like they're putting up way more of a fight than I thought that they were going to at the beginning of the season. You know what I mean? And with that, I'm pleasantly surprised just because there's a part of me that definitely roots for the Saints now because you're my friend. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want your success just as much as you want mine, and Rattler's doing a good job.
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm going to sound like the a-hole now. I think Rattler's doing a fine job. I think it's easy to avoid quarterback controversy when the quarterback that's fighting for the job is Tyler Shuck, who, no offense, but I'm sure Matt would agree, was an absolute waste of a draft pick at this point. So it's easy
to... Could have been worse. Could have been worse. They could have traded for Flacco.
My rebuttal to that is... If you showed me, if Tyler Shuck played the way that Rattler has through these 5 games, I would say, okay. Like that I am pleasantly surprised with the 40th overall pick. If that makes any sense, yeah, I get it. Like the punting on the 40th overall pick is still it's still going to be sour, but the way that Rattler is playing right now, I think kind of justifies the pick for the moment. And maybe like that could obviously change, but
It's
Yeah.
kind of a bad look in my eyes. It's really, really hard to get past from the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? So
I continue to put myself in the shoes of the moment of like that was when they were at the complete mystery because Derek Carr's announced shoulder injury is beginning of April. He doesn't retire till beginning of May. So the draft happens in the middle of his like diagnosis. So like they were scrambling to get a quarterback and they took the closest player to Derek Carr, like to his skill set in Tyler
Yeah.
Shuck, someone who can operate the offense, someone who can operate in quick game, and thought that okay, let's put this guy in here and plug and play. Maybe he's good to go by week 4, and Rattler's been too good, frankly. Like that's what it's been. So, yeah.
Ben?
No. Yeah, no, to my point. No, and Spencer Rattler has looked fine. I just am choosing violence, I guess. And a perfect time to choose violence for me because I'm upset. I'm angry. But if we're being honest, really the main thing I'm looking at is Drake May. He's just, again, he's been a treat. You hope to see him take that step forward into his second year. And he's done that and so much more. I'm just excited to see what he does against the Saints defense. So,
What we got next?
I have one
Me.
more on the matchup.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
This is a prime Rattler game. This is exactly what Rattler does well. New England allows they are the 30th in dropback success rate. The Saints are 14th in that category. That's the best category they have is efficiency on dropback passes. They're kind of built through the philosophy of 1,000 cuts, and that's kind of how New England plays you. So it'll be interesting to see how that figures out. Rattler struggles with pressure and disguise on the back end. New England is bottom 5 in pressure rate, and they're bottom 10 in disguise rate. But with the disguise rate, Christian Gonzalez is back. Carlton Davis is back. Those guys run man coverage, and they don't hide it. So, again, the disguise might be a little who cares because those two corners are so good that it's like, we know you're running man coverage, and they're just too good at it. So, interested to see how they figure that out. But let's move on. I'm going to continue in chronological order. So let's go to Las
Yes.
Vegas.
Do it.
For Ben's
Put it on the
game,
screen.
my number one note. Big sigh. Oh boy. All right. Now we swing it to Ben. Ben, you go first. All right. Because I had a fun.
No, if I'm being frank, part of the reason that I picked this game is because I wanted to force you guys to talk about the Titans and Raiders. If I'm being 100% honest, but I really think it's just as it's fun to talk about, these great teams facing against each other. I think it's just as fun to talk about maybe two of the worst football teams in the NFL versus each other. Because on the opposite end of it, when you talk about these great teams, you're like, well, look at this. Stuff is clicking. Look at how smooth they're operating. Look at how beautiful it is. It's an art. And then it's really the exact opposite in these games. And it's like, well, this is a dumpster fire. And that's what makes it so much fun to watch. And the Titans are coming off of one of the wildest victories I have ever seen in my life as a football fan. If you guys want to hear thoughts, Matt talked about that. Go watch that video every Mondays. But Gino, I don't think he really has an excuse at this point. If he comes out and plays bad against the Titans, then you're like, okay, we maybe need to start talking about what the plan for the future is at quarterback. I know you just signed him, but it might get really, really ugly very, very quickly for this Raiders team. And I think their only chance of winning this game is on the ground with Aston Jeanty. They're going up against the 29th ranked run defense in the Titans. So if you have any chance of winning it, you just got to turn around, hand the ball off to the kid, and see if he can make some magic. And then on the flip side of that, they might be bad. He said it himself, but you'd be lying if you said it wasn't fun to watch Cam Ward play football. But Ryan, your thoughts?
I'm not excited about this matchup. I'm sorry. Geno Smith is so bad, dude. He's so bad. It's like, am I writing him off? I don't know, but I don't care if he writes back because I'm done. I'm done with it. It's over. I don't know. Go Titans, I guess. But like, I'm sorry, Max Crosby. I don't know. I mean, Ashton Jeanty's cool. Like, I don't know what you want me to say here. It's not a. I'm not excited. I mean, good for Cam Ward, I guess. I don't know. Good. I go get him. Rah. Like, I don't know.
So yeah, I approached this kind of. We'll get through it. These are two bottom 5 quarterback seasons, but like with very, very different contexts. Like Cam Ward's supposed to be bad, like in an aggregate, like the number 1 overall pick going to a team who's like kind of not low key not set up to get a quarterback. If we think about it, they tried to fix this offensive line, and I liked it. I really, really did. And then Kevin Zeitler and J.C. Latham immediately get hurt, and the right side of the line is immediately jumbled. He ranks top 5 in dropped passes, or this receiver core ranks top 5 in dropped passes. He, as a quarterback, like from that core, ranks top 5. And then you get to Geno's side. Like, Geno is traded for. They give up a top 100 pick to get him, sign an extension before the season. He leads the league in turnover-worthy plays with 10 this year. He has a 20-plus pressure to sack rate on PFF, which, since he became a starter, I think it's like 22.5, is his highest of his career, like since this like last 4-year career, not thinking back to like his Jets days. I kind of just eliminate those from my mind. And he just isn't seeing the field properly. There was a play, I think I talked about it, where like there's a 3rd and 8. Albert Okwuegbunam runs over the middle of the field on a drag. The Colts are playing the sticks, like 3rd and 8. They're dropped back in quarters. And he just still rips it to Jacoby Myers in like triple coverage. It's not intercepted, but it's like drop down. You got to punt. And Alberto is like just launching the arm up. Like, I'm wide open, dude. And they were at like midfield. So that's like taking points off the board. I know it's a game where it's like 40-6 and they have the special team stuff. But yeah, it's overall, and he's not accurate either. That was the thing that like Geno was, he could be like ambitious downfield, but he could put it on your face mask as a receiver. He is not doing that this year, and that is really where it's driving stuff up a wall. And then I'll hit on my matchup real quick. This Jeffrey Simmons versus this Raiders offensive line. Mostly I want to talk about this Raiders offensive line. Jeffrey Simmons, though, is top 10 in pressures. He's got 24 for an interior defensive lineman, which is really impressive. And he's got a top 20 pass rush win rate. So he's having a great season. Hoorah. Let's get to the offensive line for the Raiders, because I want to talk about it for a minute. Colton Miller's good. Thumbs up. He's on IR. They have Dylan Parham at left guard after he played right guard last year. All right, this is where I might confuse people. They have Jordan Meredith at center after he played 500-plus snaps at both left guard and right guard last year. Jackson Powers Johnson, who they drafted a year ago from the old regime, he exclusively played left guard and center last season. He's played right guard in any time he's played this year. They've also like benched him for Alex Kappa, who Alex Kappa was cut from the Bengals offensive line. So that just like, that's where he's cut from. And then DJ Glaze is just not athletically, his athletic limitations, he cannot play tackle. He just can't. Go watch the Washington game specifically. That's the game that really like, I don't know if that guy is. And then you get into like, all right, well, now Colton Miller's down. Who's going to play swing tackle? Is it going to be one of the guys we drafted in the 3rd round? Maybe Caleb Rogers, maybe Charles Grant. No, it's going to be Stone Forsythe, who over the past 3 years has been graded as one of the worst like pass blocking left tackles in football. So yeah, man, this offensive line, they have been set up for failure, like real failure. And then the other guy, like Ashingenti, has really been set up for failure
Mm-hmm.
because of all the jumbling. They can't run the football, and I can't. I just always go back. I'm getting flashbacks all the time to April, like. Why couldn't we just plug Armand Membu at pick six? Why couldn't we just do this right and figure it out from there? And we can get someone in the second round and like at running back and build from that plane. I just it's tough, man.
Because
It's
Pete Carroll.
yeah. I mean, I said it before the season. What did you want to be like? Did they want to be competitive? And I didn't see the vision of them being competitive because of this line. And hey, here it is. Like here's what happens. So yeah, we spent way too much time on Titans Raiders. We'll make sure to pick it in the next segment. Let's get into Ryan's game. Shocker. The narrative
Come
bowl of
on.
them all. The Bears travel to Washington to face the Commanders. The Bears offense is still finding itself, and now they're coming off a bye week, so maybe will be in full swing against this Washington defense that we've had some. Ben and I have had some, questions about. They're pretty good. I think they're pretty good. So let me swing it over to Ryan.
I'm so excited for this one. Obviously, like every Bears fan has this one circled on the calendar. Not just because, it's the Commanders, Hail Mary, blah, blah, right? But you're going to see some guys return to the Bears that we haven't seen them play, like, at least very much this season, i.e., your TJ Edwards, right? He played a little bit, I believe, in week 3, and then exited the game with an injury. Kyler Gordon, I mean, another guy, huge, one of the best corners in the room, is going to be joining the team, and I think this Commanders team, obviously, injury wise, it's not looking great. You know what I mean? But I think that's kind of like you're gonna want to get them while you can kind of situation. You know what I mean? Like if they're injured and it's going to affect how they play, you're going to want to get this win. It's a huge thing for momentum for Chicago. I mean, going into the next few weeks, like I said, this one, you've got the Saints next week. You've got, the Ravens after that.
Not to cut you off, but the Jaguars just traded Tyson Campbell to the Browns. Like
breaking
right
news
now,
on the pod.
Would you look at that? Breaking news on the pod.
That's crazy.
And it immediately signed a 4-year extension, $76.5 million for 4 years. We'll get into the Browns.
Yeah, jeez. Serious? Wow. Okay. Anyways, that's crazy. Yeah, so I don't know. Back to this one. Obviously, like the Bears didn't play as well as you would have wanted against Vegas. So you're hoping that out of the gate, Ben Johnson stands on his word and says, like, listen, like, because he did it, he said it in the press conference and other things. He was like, I've been looking at this run game and it's been frustrating to me because like this is what I do. Like I'm an offensive guy, it's not working, and so I've been sitting down trying to figure out new ways for this run game to work. And so, to me, like, I don't think there's another team in the league that's so obvious that needs run game help than the Bears. So it's like, make a move. I don't know. But like, it'll be interesting to see what they do against the Commanders as well, coming out of the bye week. And not to mention their run defense is awful. I mean, we've made that point on the podcast several times. And with the additions of Kyler Gordon and TJ Edwards, those are additions that are going to help that. So, I'm looking forward to seeing that and hopefully, getting more of a well-rounded team than what I'm used to, because you're going to need to be well-rounded in order to win this matchup. On the other side of things, Jaden Daniels, he's good and he's always going to be a problem. I didn't hand up. I didn't watch Jaden Daniels this past week. I don't really know how he did. I didn't scout. So You know, this is going to be kind of like a refresher to me. Like, hey, this guy's back from injury. You know what I mean? Apparently, he did good enough to play the entire game. You know what I mean? For this past week, so I anticipate him to be healthy enough to play this week. So you know, biggest thing is, I don't know. Like I said, sweep the leg, get them while you can, kind of thing. Like, you know, but and you know, before Ben got to me, I was stating the Bears' schedule. Like, they're very winnable games that you didn't think were winnable before. And if this is one of your get back games for the locker room, to where it's like we lost against them last year. Oh, did I lose you? Did I lose you? Am I good? Okay. If this is one of your get back games for the locker room, to where it's like this is a huge momentum swing, if we can go ahead and win this one. I mean, you're 2-2. You look at a positive record for once, and then you're going into New Orleans 3-2 if you win this one. I mean, it's a good look. So you know, fingers crossed. Hopefully it goes well, but I'm looking forward to hearing what you guys have to say about this one.
No, you touched on the big thing there for me. The matchup I really wanted to touch on for this game. Is the Bill Krosky-Mary.
Mm-hmm.
The Commanders, golly, guys, I am tired. It's hard for me to put together full sentences. This Commanders run offense has been one of the best, one of the most efficient run offenses in the entire league through the first 5-6 weeks of the season. They're toting the rock for 5.9 yards per carry. They're averaging just over 154 yards a game, going against what is the worst run defense. I talked about the Titans being bad against the run. Well, the Bears are the worst run defense in the league, allowing for 164 yards a game. And if they can't stop the run, that's really going to open up avenues for Daniels to absolutely rip the ball down the field. That's even if Kyler Gordon is playing, it doesn't matter if you're going to have to commit an extra guy to stop Bill from running all over you. So I'm going to be really interested to see if, you know, with TJ Edwards back, if this run defense can kind of take a step in the right direction. And I think if they can, I think we're going to have ourselves a ball game, and I think it's going to be really, really close. Now, if the Commanders are just going to be able to run the ball for almost 6 yards a pop, sorry, Ryan, I don't think you're in for a fun Monday night.
No.
But Matt, your thoughts?
Oh, can I say one last thing really quick, Matt? We're going to go 4 consecutive Sundays without a Bears loss. Feeling great. Anyway, sorry. It's stupid.
The bye saved you. But so I kind of teased talking about this when, you know, I swung it over to you, but like, remember how we had those conversations, Ben, about like the Washington pass rush? And like to see what they've been able to do against bad offensive line. Yes, bad offensive lines, but being able to feast on those teams is something that I was like feared that they couldn't do. I was like, okay, there was a pit in my stomach where this could be like a bottom 5 to 7 pass rush. They're not like top 10, but I see why they got Javon Kinlaw. Is it still an overpay? Yeah. But I know why they got him now, watching what they do with stunts and things like that. Von Miller still got like something, I guess. But the major guys, Dorrance Armstrong took a leap. Dorrance Armstrong has been like their best run defender and their best pass rusher this season. And then I had to go back because of just the narrative of it all. I went back to the game last year. Just like, because all we think about is one thing, is the final play to Noah Brown. In that game, the Commanders averaged 6.7 yards per play. Where, for reference, the 2025 leader in that category is the Rams with 6.4 right now. So the Commanders were more efficient than the most efficient offense in football right now. The Bears didn't score points until the last minute of the third quarter, in which it was a 50-yard DeAndre Swift run. If we remember that, the Bears had the goal line fumble in which they handed the ball to offensive lineman Doug Kramer. And the Commanders in that game went 0-for-3 in the red zone when they were a top 5 red zone to touchdown percentage team at like 63%. So just a weird game the Commanders finished with like almost 500 offensive yards and scored 18 points. Just a very weird football game. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of how the Eberflut's defense is. Keep everything in front of you, and hopefully we condense them in the red zone. But we get to my matchup, my number one matchup. I am so excited for this one. I want to see the Bears passing game against man coverage. The top three teams in terms of zone coverage called this season are Dallas, Vegas, and Minnesota. What do all three of those teams have in common? They've already played the Bears. The one team the Bears faced that aren't in that category are the Lions, who they'll throw some man coverage at you. They'll still, they were still working out the kinks with new defensive coordinator Kelvin Shepard, but they'll throw man coverage at you. But they kind of let off the gas in that game because, they scored 50 points in that one. So you don't really get the whole gist of an entire game of man coverage. And that was one of the 4 games that I think Caleb struggled the most. Just from a pure processing standpoint, it was his worst pressure to sack ratio at 40%, which is really, really bad. I just watching that when it happened, because I watched those first 2 games early in the season. That game specifically, he just had a hard time processing and unlocking the entire field through man coverage. Dan Quinn will throw man coverage at you. They're 6th. Washington is 6th in the league right now at man coverage call rate. So again, what are the answers for the Bears? This is not just a specific Caleb Williams against man coverage, because I think Ben Johnson can really come in and cook up a game plan off a bye, knowing this is what we're going to get, and we don't have a good run game. Is it schemed up in a way that everything feels easy, or is it player on player? Can we really attack Roma Dunze against Marshawn Lattimore or Mikey Samerstill, whoever it is, because of his body type against this body type, whatever. I'm just intrigued to see it, because if they show that weakness once again, where it's like, oh man, they can't move the ball against man coverage and they can't run the ball, teams are going to start slamming cover 1 on them, and it's going to be a long season. But I'm intrigued to see how that goes, because that is just some of the nerd picks that I get from some of these games. But that is all for the games of the week. And for people watching on YouTube, maybe a little bit later, yes, I know we talked about the Titans and Raiders and the Patriots and Saints, and we didn't talk about the Lions and Chiefs or the Niners and Bucks. We've talked about those teams. So, again, this is kind of like mixing in the entire league with this. Are we going to – this was the week I wanted to mix in the Saints. Probably won't happen often, but this was the one week because I wanted to mix it in with the Patriots. But – yeah,
and the Bears,
those are,
because we've talked about them every single week, and I'm trying not to, but this is just such a big narrative game.
Yeah, but I wanted to point that out.
Next week, oh man, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to figure this out. But next week we'll probably talk about the Bears and Saints again, because it's inevitable. It's our guys, but we're gonna try to kind of wean off of these teams. I promise you.
Whoa. Am I hearing that the people don't like hearing talks about the Titans and Raiders, the 2 most exciting teams in football?
I'm just making a reference point that I think people are going to be like, wait a minute.
Yes.
You're not talking about the Lions and the Chiefs? Yes, we're not. We have talked about those teams. The Lions are awesome. Time out. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, do all those things. It really, really helps us out. It helps push out the algorithm to so many different new fans of the channel. But I'll let you get back to the video. We will now predict all of those games in Pigskin Pick'em. Ryan, what is the slate? What is the records, more importantly?
Yeah. So, Matt, more importantly to you, because you won last week, 9-5 was your record in the 14 games. Ben went 7-7, and then your boy went 6-8. I'm about to it's still a tight race. It's overall records.
Yeah, between me
Ben
and
is
Matt.
Ben is 54, 23-1. Matt is 49, 28-1, and then I am 43, 34-1. Let me tell you, if I drop 20 games to the leader, I might just start picking stuff for the bit. You know what I mean? Who knows? Who knows?
Vibes guy, certified
big vibes guy. Just see if that helps. I did go vibes with one of my picks. I'm looking forward to showing you guys. Normally, you guys would be hearing the click-clack of my keyboard during this, but it's obvious that my PC doesn't like when I have more than 2 tabs open. So with that being said, if I look down, it's because I'm preparing the notes for this week. With that being said, Eagles, Giants, I'm taking the Eagles. Matt, where are you going with this?
Ooh, he did. I'm gonna take the Eagles. I think the spread is too high. It scares me from taking the Giants, but yeah.
Ben?
Imagine if I was just like, give me the Giants. No, the Eagles. Yeah.
The part in this show that I was going to talk about is coming next segment, so stay tuned. Browns Steelers. Matt, where are you going?
You skipped one.
What are you talking about?
You skipped London.
London? What's the London game? I was going off of
Broncos.
I'll tell you what. Broncos. That was the next one. I'll tell you. ESPN orders it weird. So for those of you that don't know, I have family in Cleveland, so I favorite the Browns on my ESPN app in favor of them, and so because of that, it shows the Browns higher up on that list, and then the Bears it ranks lower just because it's the Monday Night Football one. So with that being said, that's why Browns Steelers is first. We'll jump to Broncos Jets after this, but yes, Browns Steelers. Matt,
give me the Steelers coming off a bye, and the Browns are not, and they're coming from London, so that's tough. I don't know. I hate picking the Steelers. I really do.
No,
Ben?
okay. So this is a perfect time to get into it a little bit. Browns have been active when it comes to making trades. They traded their beloved Joe Flacco away to the Bengals, which that'll be a fun storyline to follow. How long does it take for them to just slot him in and say, Jake Browning, sorry, we're done with you?
They have.
And then and then do you really think it happens this week on a week's notice? That'd be great.
Yes.
It'll be interesting to see. And then they obviously, as you guys heard, traded for Tyson Campbell, which Jaguars. Why are we trading for Greg Newsome and a 6th-round pick? All right, you
it's
just got
money.
significantly
It's money.
worse. I know, but still,
Newsome is free agent, and Tyson Campbell can't run man coverage.
Yeah, I just hate it. I think you're downgrading just awful. I think you probably could have got a better deal out there. And then also they traded for Cam Robinson, I think 2 weeks ago now at this point. Who would have thought that the Browns were going to be the most active team in trade negotiations? All of that being said, give me the Steelers.
Wow, all of that for nothing. Give me the Browns upside of the week. Broncos, Jets. Matt, where are we going?
I'm gonna take the Broncos. When do the Jets win a game? Remember we talked about this? We talked about this early. This was one of my things. Was the Jets' first 6 weeks is a nightmare, and it's been a nightmare for them. So, hey, they get the Panthers next week. So, see you.
Maybe. And then they feast on the Bengals and then the Browns. I mean, maybe the Jets go on a 3-game win streak. Who knows? Before making their way to New England. Ben?
Yeah, that 3-game win streak will not start now for them. I'll tell you that. Give me the Broncos.
And then, I'm also going Broncos. Chargers, Dolphins. Didn't this... Wait a minute. What? No way I messed this up. Are you serious?
No.
Oh, I messed all of this up. I messed all of this up. Oh, that's great. I think, Chargers, Dolphins just happened, didn't it?
No.
Am I wrong for that?
No.
Dolphins, Panthers.
Dolphins, Panthers.
You're getting the aqua blue all mixed up.
Oh my god, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god. Okay,
What a day for the guys on the pod.
Dude, yeah. All right. Yeah, where are we going? I don't know where we're going. Where are we going?
I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I think the Chargers are reeling a little bit. I'm just gonna take the home team, I don't know.
I think the Chargers bounce back. Whoa, Ryan's gone. I'm gonna take the Chargers here to bounce back. I'm just gonna keep it doing it, I guess. I'm gonna get hurt by the Chargers. They got some pieces to help them on the pass rush. They got a Dafe Owe. I don't know how much of an impact. Early on in his career, everyone was like, "Oh, this would be great." But what is it going to turn
Yeah,
out to be?
he said something about how like the Ravens weren't unlocking him or something. And it's like, wait a minute. That's like all the Ravens do is like they churn out good pass rushers.
Exactly. So Harbaugh and Harbaugh trade. That being said, I will be going the Chargers. No clue what's going on there with the caller from Chicago. He's just kind of hanging out there, frozen. He's gone. Oh,
This is
he's
unbelievable.
back.
I switched browsers to fix this, and I ended up going back to old reliable Google Chrome anyway. So what's it matter? Yeah, Chargers Dolphins, because that game's happening this week. Chargers, that's the one that I'm going with. That's the team. Yep. Patriots Saints. Matt.
Come back.
Pick between your children. Pick between your children. Yeah. Give me the child that we have split custody of. I'm going the Patriots and Drake May.
I'm also going the Patriots. Drake May, man. This quarterback class looks really good for the future. I'm really happy about this. But yeah, Patriots.
Yeah,
Do it.
I'm gonna take the Patriots.
Lame. Rams, Ravens. Are we all in unison here for this one?
Yeah.
Yes.
I talked about this on the recap show from Monday. Like the Ravens are gonna be 1-5. Like that gives you a margin error of like 2 losses maybe. That's kind of crazy to think about. So I still think they could dig out of the hole is probably the crazier part, but that's we're gonna have an interesting talking point next week if a shock doesn't happen.
Yeah.
All right. And then Cardinals, Colts.
The Colts are a wagon, dude. Give me the Colts. Just a wagon.
Yeah. Give me Daniel Jones, comeback player of the year here, right?
Same. Colts all the way. Seahawks, Jaguars. This is a fun one. This one
Yeah.
I could have picked for the matchup of the week, honestly.
Yeah. We just talked about both of those teams, so we made a good call. Give me Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, this is easy. This is technically my upset of the week because the Jags are favored, but give me the Seahawks.
All right, I'll fade you guys. Jaguars, vibes guy. Cowboys, Panthers. We're all going Cowboys here, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Titans, Raiders. Matt. We could throw it away after this, buddy.
What a game. Yeah, give me the Raiders just from the home perspective, I guess.
Yeah. Give me the Raiders.
Oh, I was gonna say it like that. All right. 49ers, Buccaneers.
What do you mean flush it away? I'm not going to let that go on. We still have to watch the game.
You don't have to. You don't have to watch the game.
Yeah, we do.
That's sick. What we do, We're the guys in the Pigskin Project. 49ers, Bucks. Yeah.
49ers. They can't keep getting away with this.
Bucks.
Yeah.
Ben thinks they'll keep getting away with this.
Well, okay. My main thing with the Bucks.
Yeah. Also, I'll stamp it dead. The Baker hate agenda is over, dude. That guy, he's so good. He's
good
annoying,
now. It's awesome.
But he's so good. It's insane.
In the same vein that you said the Bucks can't keep getting away with this, Mac Jones can't keep getting away with this. Mac Jones looks like a top 5 quarterback throwing to Keyshawn Boutte, and that's it. Like, what are we doing? He has no one to
What?
throw the football to, and he still looks great.
No,
can't
you're
get away.
thinking of the other KB, Kendrick Bourne.
Or Kendrick Bourne. Yeah, you're right. I'm
Yeah.
mixing my Patriots
like-
wide receivers up.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It happens to me all the time.
But he can't get away with this. All right, Bucks. Come on.
I'm going Bucks as well. I like him. I'm not gonna lie. Him and Ibuka, man. Oh my gosh.
Has anyone
right.
locked up like offensive rookie of the year so fast?
I know, dude.
Yeah, which is crazy because I feel like Tetaroa, sorry, doesn't like being called that.
Well, he
but
can't
I feel
get
like,
touchdowns because his quarterback can't
Yeah.
throw inside the 15.
yeah.
You almost said it.
Bengals, Packers. I mean, there's no way Flacco wins his debut, right?
He's 1-0 against the Packers already this year.
Yeah, I know. It would be so funny,
I'm
dude.
just,
So funny.
Just saying.
Yeah, I'm going Packers. Yeah.
Yes.
Lions, Chiefs. Fun one. Ben,
Do you guys
or
know the
Matt,
line on
sorry.
this one?
What's the line on this one?
Guess.
Are we
Well,
talking
if you
about
give me a
over-under,
second,
or are
it's
we
on the
talking
scroller.
Yeah, I'm just saying. If you
We're
guys
talking
don't know
about-
it,
Are we talking about points, or are we talking about like spread? Or?
who's favored? Yeah, who's
The
favored by
Lions.
how much?
The Lions are favored by 2.5. 1.5.
Opposite. It's Chiefs by 2.5.
Wow.
Everybody's calling it. Everybody's like, that's rat. That's a rat.
It is a rat
Give me the
line.
Chiefs. Because it's a rat line. You got to figure.
No, I'm taking the rat line. Give me the Lions.
I'm
Keep the
also
Chiefs and
going
Arizona
the
State,
Lions.
then.
All right, Bears, Commanders. Matt?
Commanders.
Commanders.
Yeah, I'm going commies too. And the reason
Whoa!
why is because there's an official that's officiating that game on Monday, and like
No.
the penalties
no.
are crazy. And I'm not
Is it
saying
Torbert?
that I don't remember exactly what his name is. I just remember reading it like this afternoon. And I'm not saying the Bears are going to get screwed over. I'm just saying the Bears are a really bad team when it comes to penalties on the O-line. And that tends to lead to like plenty of mistakes on the offense or like a very inefficient offense in the Bears. So with that being said, like I just don't have faith in that right now. So, shocker. I know. Anyways, Bills, Falcons. Matt?
No, dude, it's the Monday doubleheaders. The bane of my existence. Give me the Bills.
Yeah.
Going Bills as well. All right.
Fact
So
check.
that
Did Matt take every favorite? Probably.
Yeah. Anyways, all right, that does it for Pigskin Pick'em. Let's get into Pigskin Payout so that I can finally reveal what I was talking about all podcast. So normally I give you guys 4 touchdown scores for each week. I'm giving you technically 5 because Saquon's going to score twice. That's the spoiler. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy. And then I have Puka, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and James Cook. Right now, for whatever reason, the lines aren't open for Puka, so you can't put this together. But yeah, that's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, put some money down when you're able to. If not, leave Saquon out of it because that's stupid. Yeah. If I were to pick another one, just for the heck of it, I'd go Krosky Merritt. Krosky Merritt anytime touchdown. Oh, I think I might have lost you guys. No, I didn't.
No.
Okay,
no.
cool.
No.
Krosky Merritt, yeah. Krosky Merritt, Amon-Ra St. Brown, James Cook, and Puka. So if you're putting this together on like a Saturday, that's the winner right there. So
No.
That's such a crazy lay.
That is. What's the pay? Oh yeah, you can't.
you can't fill it out right now. I would love that, but yeah, I'm playing against the defenses, man. I love it so much.
Yeah, I'm
I've
gonna stick to
I've
my-
gotten one away every single week, just so you know. Like every week, I'm pretty positive I'm only one touchdown score away. So
I'm gonna
Yeah.
stick to my tried and true lines here. We're gonna have Dallas cover 2.5, and to be frank, you could probably buy some points on that line. Like you could probably have them cover the 3.5. And you know, up the odds up a little bit there. I'm having the Chargers cover 2.5 against the Jaguars. This is the week. And then Seattle money line. That brings your total payout to plus 442. You bet $10, you win 54.
Matt, you done building, bro?
Oh, dude, I have like one thing I like.
It's a master at work here.
What if I just sit it out? No gambling this weekend. I only like Dallas -3. I really do.
Yeah.
I think you could you could sprinkle some team totals on like the Rams if you want. Actually, give me over in Patriots, Saints, and then Cowboys, and I mean, why not? Tyler Warren touchdown. That's 740 on DraftKings.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there you go. There's something. I did my job.
There we go. All right. So that does it for Pigskin Payout. We are not responsible for your losses. Don't be stupid. And then yeah. So I'm gonna figure out my connection